People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you for tuning back in each and every time. I'm always appreciative of the support and the rest of it which you give me. It means the world. Now, yesterday we played against Leicester and we won 2-0. That's obviously off the back of, it was a shaky performance against West Ham. End of the day, we won. We got 3 points in that game, and to match with the Fulham game, that's 6 points on the board. We've started off the season well. 3 games, 3 goals. 1 goal conceded technically, through to the next round. There's been no injuries. Obviously, when you consider Aubameyang and Saka have signed new deals, we brought in Gabriel. There's talk of Partey and Aouar, will he, won't he? And we've done quite well into what we had a positive end to the season, winning the FA Cup, and we won the Community Shield. So all of this, all makes a little good bit of cocktail and fruit punch of positivity, and we should be, But I've said it before. I think there's a fine line between positivity and complacency. Now, I know Arteta is under no illusion. He knows the task at hand. He knows he's been at City. He knows the level we're not at. He knows the levels we need to go at if we even want a fraction of City's success, which would be getting to top 4, really. He knows that. The players can't be any under illusion. And I think to a degree, some fans are a bit unnecessarily complacent and assuming things. But I do think some fans, or most fans, see this for what it is. Stuff's about to get real very quickly, There's going to be ups and downs. We're going to have to respond well to adversity. Everything's going well for us, We got the rub of the green against West Ham. Same way, when we're in bad form, we could be playing West Ham in them contexts. We take the lead, they turn it around and take the points. These things are going to happen. We are going to lose games. We are going to drop silly points. Individual mistakes are going to happen. Aubameyang and Lacazette, 2 good players, are going to not score goals. Things are going to happen. Mistakes are going to happen. We're not a perfect team. It's how you respond. It's how you respond is how one thing that's going to tip our season. And we all know the micro issues. We need to put in consistency. We need to see out leads. We need to cut out the draws. We need to improve our defensive record and our defensive record against top teams. There's many different micro issues you can point at for Arsenal and the need to improve. And the macro issue is just we haven't been good enough. Stuff's about to get real. You look at our next fixtures, people, You've got Liverpool. We could even have Liverpool twice in a week. But we've got Liverpool away at Anfield. When was the last time we won there? Our most positive performance at Anfield is when they played some kids and we lost towards the end of the game. Did we lose on penalties? I can't remember if we lost on penalties or we just lost that game damn right, but that was probably our best performance at Anfield in particular. Yes, we've done well in our last 2 games against them, but Anfield hasn't treated us right. I remember there used to be a time I used to be quite confident going to Anfield, and since they got Mo Salah and them man there, to be fair, home and away, they've been tearing us new ones. After that, you've got Sheffield United. Now, I feel Sheffield United, towards the end of last season, for as good a season they had, they began to look a bit shaky. And this season, they've looked a bit shaky as well. It's still a big task, That's a club that got 4 points of us, forgive me if I'm wrong, last year. I think we drew at home, and they obviously beat us away. We're going to need to be up for that. Their 12th man isn't going to be in the ground, or I assume he wouldn't be on the 4th of... They would be in the 4th of October because fans can't go back in. It's still a tough game. Arteta returns to Manchester City. We got ourselves handed to us 3-0. 3-0 on the face of it. City are a better team. They outmatch us in every department. Very few Arsenal players, if any, could go and play for them. There's only about 4 players I genuinely believe would have a sniff of things at City. Let's not cap Aubameyang plays for City. Personally, I don't rate City's left backs, Mendy and that. I think Tierney's better than them, so I think Tierney. I think, young players struggle, but I do think on ability, Bukayo Saka would hold his own. And I've got a lot of time for Martinelli. Beyond that, I don't think that there's any players that walk into the team right now, So we know there's a golfing class. We lost 3-0 to them. But my thing about playing City is all about the performance, because they beat us 3-0. They're a better team than us. They can exploit you even when you give them a yard. But we gave all 3 of them goals to them. City didn't have to be at their best. I've seen them play worse. Play worse and have to fight to win against Newcastle. I've seen worse teams than us put on more of a fight. So it's all about the performance there. Obviously, yeah, we beat City in the FA Cup like Liverpool, but that's irrelevant. It's how you play at the Etihad. We're still out here talking about Coquelin and Santi Cazorla. Their performance there that night in, 2015. We shouldn't be talking about that. So the performance is crucial. You've got Leicester at home. We dropped points. We were 15 minutes or so from getting 3 points before we lost. Defenders lost Jamie Vardy. Can you go into games learning from your mistakes and applying it better? Apologies, smacked my funny elbow. And then you've got Man United. They're the games I wanted to focus on, people. Those 5 games. After that, you got Villa, Leeds, Leeds, Wolves, and then you got Spurs in December. December's gazy as well, people. But this is where it's about to get real, you know. And I'm not going to get too down or too excited whether we win, lose, or necessarily draw these games. But this is what I'm talking about. You know, you need to remember the hurt of last season, how it meant to finish 8th. You know, I haven't seen that in my lifetime. You're part of a negative bit of history as an Arsenal player. Remember how that felt. You know, remember how it felt for people to question not just you as footballers, but you as people, you know. You've got to learn from your mistakes. And if I'm them, when the fixture list got announced, this should have been the very period you're looking at and thinking stuff gets real. And if we go back last season, I believe the great Twitter account Orbino, you know, following me, does a good thing with the stats. These same equivalent 5 fixtures, we just took 3 points from these games, people, which is a difficult one, you know. 3 points from 5 games, it don't make no sense, you know. Mathematically, it doesn't make no sense. I'm not gonna lie, I'm poor at math, so I'm gonna have to go, what, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So that's about 15 points. Wait. Yeah. I just about passed maths. Wait, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. That's 15 points, you know. We got 3 points with 15 points on the line. It's a madness, you know. You've got to do better. You have to come out of this fixture period with a respectable amount of points if you want top 4. Nothing is easy. Nobody in this league is going to hand things to us. So I want to see, this is what I'm saying. This is when it gets serious, people. There's no hiding place. There's no hiding place. I'm not saying you must go out and win all of these games. Of course I would like them to win every game, you know. When last did we win or put in a decent performance at Anfield? Of course, but I'll take a point. It's all about the performance. Sheffield United, with all due respect to them, you know, they're a good team. Chris Wilder's doing good things. I really like them. But you should be out there going and winning that game. Simply put. Simple as, go and win that game. So a performance at Anfield, victory against Sheffield, you know. It's about the performance. For me, the 2 Manchester games we're playing, you know. When last did we win at Old Trafford in the league? I know we've done our thing in the FA Cup. You're probably looking at 2006. What's that, Adebayor's goal? These are not things that you should have as an Arsenal player or as an Arsenal club if you want top 4. You need to put in a performance at Old Trafford. We know it's a big pitch. We know it's a massive pitch. These are the things you need to remember. Can you put in a good performance against United at Old Trafford, regardless of what people might have to say about Man United and where they are right now? Can you win at the Etihad or put in a good performance? Can you go to Anfield, the league champions? You know, you've got the 2 top teams in recent weeks. You know, you're going to need to be at it. Of course, they outmatch us technically. They're probably better coached tactically. And I'm saying probably to be nice to Arteta, car. It's not his fault. He's had less time. But it's about the performance. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who these players are. It doesn't matter what they've done. It doesn't matter how good they are. Football matches are not won on paper. Football matches are won, you know, in the game. You know, it's 22 players chasing the ball and you need to show you at it. It's fun and games showing it against West Ham and getting gassed off Fulham, you know, but you need to put in performances in these games. These are the games that make the difference. And if these players want that familiar feeling it felt to claim trophies like with the FA Cup and just feelings of accomplishment, we've got to learn from mistakes. Like I said, if I'm one of these players, I'm literally putting on my bedroom wall or whatever the games that we played last season, the score lines and the points, which is free. Like I said, 3 from 5 games, it don't make no sense. It's disgraceful. So can you go into this 5-game period knowing what you need to do? You should have known against Fulham, all right, cool, let's get 3 points. I'm not going to lie, boys. We've got Liverpool in the week. We've got Liverpool on Monday. Go into that Liverpool game. You know, can you put in a decent performance, you know? I don't think, you know, I think we'd still lose. Again, if we lose, we lose, but it's about the performance. I don't want to lose getting battered. Mo Salah is running ragged and Thiago is doing what Thiago does and has shown for a number of years at previous clubs. Mane, you know what Mane's on. That man's a savage when it comes to fullbacks, you know. He's ripped for Arsenal before. I don't want to see these lot getting FPL points. They're in my FPL league, so I don't mind. But I don't want to see bare FPL points for these, man. You get it? It's about the performance. If we lose to Liverpool, lose with some credibility. Look at Leeds United. Now, I'm sure when Leeds done the analytical approach, they probably thought they were poor over several goals Liverpool conceded. And Liverpool probably had their own question marks in that game. But they put in a performance. With all due respect to Leeds, a promoted team should not be able to put in more of a credible performance at Anfield than you know. If we lose, but we lost to the better men, and I say, you know what, defensively I can't ask anymore. Midfield, I thought we fought. Strikers, I thought they tried. But the quality of Mo Salah, Thiago and the rest of it showed the difference. I say, alright, cool, we ain't got them players in our team. I say, alright, cool, they were the better men. I just want to be able to save face and walk away with some credibility. I don't want to see these cricket scores. You can't keep losing 3 and again, I'm just hypothetically speaking, you can't keep hitting 3s and 4-0s and all these mad things in top games and expect to get top 4. You know, we will lose games. You know, do I think we're going to play with the top 6 rivals and win or get points? I would love it, but realistically, that's not going to happen. Are we going to go over this 38 game period, 36 left, not tasting defeat? It's idiotic to suggest that, but it's all about the credibility. You know, can we capitalize on our good form and win games and keep going? And can we, at the same logic, when we're in bad form or we go through a dodgy period as a club, can we rein it in? I don't want to see we're losing 3 games in a row. Again, I'm just freestyling, but I don't want to see 3 losses in a row and things like that, and we're drawing games we're supposed to be winning and we're losing when we're supposed to be winning, and we're drawing and all of these things, and when we think we're going to lose, we win. It's about consistency. That's the only word. We can talk about Arsenal's micro issues, midfield, tactics, who needs to come in and who needs to go until we're blue in the face. But ultimately, we're going to live or die this season by consistency. That's it. Consistency is the difference between top 4. Consistency will see you get to a Europa League final. That's it. You know, you show your consistency, you improve your consistency. Arsenal, by recent Arsenal standards, have more of a positive season. But only time will tell. And like I said, when you look at this 5 game or so period and you look at last year, if I'm these footballers, that is haunting me in a positive sense. I'm obsessed with that. I'm obsessed with putting that right. You know, I'm not agreeing with it, but you got 3 points. Can you get 6 points? There's a bit of progress. That's minimal progress and unacceptable, but you get the point. And this is what I'm talking about, the mentality, because things go wrong, things happen in big games, you know. I need to see that these players are mentally strong enough to weather these storms. Because at Liverpool, you know, you probably expect 3 at the back, weathering the storm. You know, their midfield is more tenacious, more dynamic than us. Thiago's definitely got more quality in his left pinky than all of our midfielders. I think in terms of technical ability, the only man that can talk to him is a man that's never in the squad. Not that I'm singing his praises. Do you get it? But can we go against that? You know, I don't want to see us don't respect these oppositions. You know, the going is tough. Don't respect the opposition unnecessarily. You know, get mocked in the trenches, because there's teams below us. You know, Palace have done the double over what did they do, the double over United last year? I could be wrong, or they've definitely won back-to-back away games. You know, they could have said, "Oh, we're playing at Old Trafford. I'm shook, man. You know, the fans aren't going to get onto us if we lose this." They had a goal. Yeah, there was a bit of fortune with retaking penalties, and you could say United were poor. But at the end of the day, Palace, what United do is not Palace's fault. Palace had some base level of belief, and they got a performance. You need belief and you need consistency. That's ultimately what we need in this squad, ultimately. And like I said, going into this period, I want to see exactly that. But talk is cheap, and these players do a lot of talking. All that matters is the facts, you know. What after this 5 game period, where we stand in terms of points and what's actually happened. And I believe in some players. I think some players are on this, some players are going to rise, some players are just going to be treading water, kind of if and all. Certain men are going to sink, certain men aren't even going to get into the swimming pool, you know. And this is what I want to weed out. Anybody that's not on this thing, anyone that's under any illusion as to how hard of a task it is to move forward as a club, they need to leave. They need to not be a part of it. We need players that are down for the cause. Because like I said, we are... But this is the worst, one of the worst Arsenal teams I've seen in my life. And that's not me trying to be negative. That's the realness. I'm not going to tell you lot any less. To get back to what we want to do, it's going to be hard. It's not going to happen overnight. But what we need to do is that show that we're on that train, that we're moving towards getting to that destination. Time will tell. Talk is cheap. Doing is expensive. And we've done a lot of talking as a club. So, you know, let's see what can happen. If the boys want top 4, if they want top 4 in May, then they think about these moments all day, every day. That's how I see it anyways. But I've got nothing more to add, man. It's always a pleasure speaking with you guys. On that note, people, deluded. I'm out, man.